Hey, welcome to the review of PWG Threemendous II. This is actually their 6-year anniversary show. They probably wouldn't want to call it the 6-year anniversary of PWG because Ring of Honor has already done that with their show. So this is kind of like their version of it. So it's called Threemendous II. This is a phenomenal show. Definitely just another great show from PWG. And like I've said a lot of times already, they don't release a lot of shows anymore. They pretty much do one or two a month, maybe just once a month. But every show has been stacked with a lot of great talent, and I think every show has pretty much delivered. I've seen every show so far up to Threemendous II, except Secret of Guerrilla Island, which I heard wasn't that good. But let's see how they did here. I thought it was an excellent show. The first match was PWG. Their openers are usually tag matches that feature the up-and-coming younger talent. Just guys that are trying to make a name for themselves. We've seen the Cutler brothers before. The Cutler brothers teamed up with Charles Mercury to take on Bryan, Gatson, Johnny Goodtime, and Jerome Robinson. Like the typical PWG opener, the crowd was really into it. It was kind of a spot fest. Just a pretty fun match. Pretty decent opener. So next up is the very controversial Scott Lost versus Alex Shelley match. I know Nightmare Baller, The Miz, 2003K, and Honor Hammer all had mixed opinions on this match. Some thought it was good, some thought it was just average. I don't know. Like the first couple minutes, like if you weren't paying attention, you probably might have got lost in the match, because it had that PWG type of atmosphere. Sometimes some of these matches put you to sleep because the crowd is just kind of like very laid back. But I don't know. Eventually, this match just got really good, though. I thought it was excellent. The near falls in this match were awesome. Like this is some of the best near falls I've seen all year, actually, and it's pretty stiff as well. There's some great wrestling from Alex Shelley. Obviously, Alex Shelley is a hell of a wrestler, as we all know, and I thought him and Scott Lost made a great combination. I thought they worked a pretty good match. The ending was kind of weird, though. Shelley going for the multiple frog splashes. So yeah, this is very solid. One of the better matches of the show. So next up is the really underrated Bryan Danielson versus Chris Sabin match. I thought it was another excellent match. Sabin kind of played the heel. He was very intense. The intensity was great in this match, especially for the first half. Then, like towards the middle, it kind of got a little. I don't know. It was just kind of dead for a little bit, like maybe for a couple minutes, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and then eventually Danielson applied the cat mutilation, and it was pretty much over from there. Sabin was actually selling an Achilles injury. I think he hurt his Achilles in this match. But Sabin and Danielson, their matches are usually in the 3.5-star range. They really haven't had any epic matches together. They had a match in ROH, which is a lot of people don't really talk about it. It was at a show called, what was it, the Showdown in Motown. So this is pretty much on the same level as that. I really enjoyed it, though. Like I said, the intensity was awesome. Next we get Colt Cabana and Chuck Taylor. It was a pretty good comedy match. There were some really weird things going on in the match with the referee. There was kind of a homosexual thing that they did. It didn't really come off that well. But I don't know, like your typical Colt Cabana comedy match. Chuck Taylor is the PWG is kind of grooming him to being in like the next top heel in the company. But I don't know. I think Colt Cabana is kind of stale right now, to tell you the truth. I don't know how much longer this comedy thing could go. The problem with him turning heel is like, especially in Ring of Honor, is like he'll just be too entertaining. So I don't think a heel turn could really last for him. But we'll see what happens. He's going to get a title shot coming up in Chicago, actually, against Austin Aries. So let's see how he does there. Next match, I thought this was the match of the night, and I really love this. This is Davey Richards versus Roderick Strong. Probably the two, since Danielson and Nigel are gone, probably the two top guys on the independent scene right now, arguably. Wow, this match is like extremely hard hitting. It was short and it was sweet. It was about 12 to 13 minutes of amazing action. People are comparing it to Nakajima and Roderick Strong from Supercard of Honor. I definitely think it's just as good as that match, maybe even better. This is probably the best match I've seen them have, actually. Better than the match they had in Japan last year. Because the crowd, give the PWG credit, the PWG crowd credit here. I thought they were awesome, and really, this really just delivered. I can't say enough about this match. I mean, and I think Ring of Honor really dropped the ball on this feud. They could have done a lot more. They should have main evented at least 1 or 2 shows, and they didn't main event anything together. But maybe down the line we'll see more of this because, like I said, these two are just an amazing combination. I'm telling you, this is like stiffness like you wouldn't believe. Um, Fast-paced, everything. So definitely check this out. I think this is the match of the night for me. A lot of people might disagree with that, but next up we have the Young Bucks versus 2 skinny black guys, which consists of El Generico and Yuma Tornado. A really fun match. Just another great Young Bucks match. Young Bucks were actually, I don't know, the champions of PWG get a lot of heat. They were booing the shit out of the Young Bucks. I guess because they've been champion for such a long time. Both Hero and the Young Bucks. So, but this was fun as hell. Like, eventually it got really good. The Young Bucks pulled out some suicidal offense like they always do. El Generico looked great. Human Tornado. The crowd was popping for everything Human Tornado did. They actually broke up the more bang for your buck, and when that near fall happened, the crowd was going crazy. And Generico actually hit the brainbuster on the turnbuckle to secure his team a win. This is actually a non-title match, so the titles didn't change hands. But the way the crowd reacted, you would have thought it was a title change. So yeah, this really came off very well. Probably the second best match on the show. Next up, we have the main event. We get Chris Hero, the PWG champion, taking on Joey Ryan. The PWG World title matches, they just go way too long. This one about maybe 35 to 40 minutes. Kind of like the Joey Ryan Human Tornado title match that we've seen on the PWG Sells Out DVD. Yeah, way too long, but I'm still going to give it 4 stars, though, because there is just a lot of good stuff in it. Both guys put their body on the line. This is a brutal match. It's a guerrilla warfare match. I'm not really sure what happened in this feud. The last show I saw was DDT4, and they just had a match that was really didn't consist of any build-up. So I guess at the Secret of Guerrilla Island, the feud probably escalated since then. So I'm not sure if the feud was really if it was really essentially necessary to book a guerrilla warfare match for this. But yeah, the hardcore stuff was pretty good here. I'll give both guys credit. They really busted their ass. But the first 15 minutes, it just dragged on way too long. Like their previous match, they had a match at DDT4, which I thought dragged for a while. That match dragged as well. But even though it did drag, it's still a good match to watch. Hero was booed like crazy. The crowd, I guess the crowd is just sick of Hero being the champion. So, but yeah, still a great show. I definitely recommend checking this out. I think this is probably just as good as any PWG show this year. I have to say DDT4 I thought was a lot more fun. PWG 99 was great. Express Written Consent was great. This is probably, I say maybe the second or third best show of the year so far from what I've seen. So yeah, I got some more PWG stuff coming as well. I just ordered The Speed of Sound and Gear San Frontiers. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's the match when Bryan Danielson actually won the PWG title in his last PWG match against Chris Hero. So those will be coming as well. You can get them at High Spots and Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla's website right now. You can't get them at ROHWrestling.com. But as far as this show, Threemendous II, I got at the ROH show last night for $15. So you can definitely pick this up during the Black Friday sale from ROHWrestling.com. This is must-have. Like, seriously. Out of all the new DVDs coming out, along with the Final Countdown stuff, you have to pick this up as well. With the sale, you could probably get this for maybe $8 or $9. So it's definitely worth getting. All right, take it easy.